Hello and welcome to Fur, Fins, and Feathers. This is our 20th installment and everything has taken off superbly over the past few months, and we are planning to have several more sessions into the summer and fall. Today our guest is Erin Babbitt of Stony Creek Farm, I'm sorry. And Erin is going to talk about her menagerie of animals, many of whom have starred in videos and movies and other films. Erin, welcome.
Hey, Brian.
It's good to see you again.
You too.
Tell us about your foray into film.
Well, I own Stony Creek Farm in Swansea. We are a boarding facility for horses, and we also started rescuing farm animals maybe 10 years ago. And just recently, we started hiring out our animals for movies.
How'd you start with that?
We had a lady just stop in the farm one day. She's the animal trainer for Boston, around this area for movies. And she had asked if we would be interested in hiring the animals out because we have a lot of animals and they're social animals, so they're easy to work with. They've been in a lot of different situations, so she realized that she could take these animals on set and they were gonna behave and not stress out. So we started. Our first movie was a Netflix movie with David Spade called. Give me a minute. Father of the Year, and that came out last year. So we worked on set with some goats and some chickens. It was a two-day filming that we did. So basically, the animals are just background animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the animals get paid.
They get paid. They get paid pretty well. So I get paid as an animal wrangler, which is something that I have never done before.
What is your background in animals?
Let's see. I started doing 4-H when I was a kid, probably 6 or 7. I did 4-H club. So I had rabbits and chickens and goats.
Are you started where? Where are you from originally?
Bristol.
Okay, from Bristol.
Mm-hmm. So the 4-H club was in Bristol. And then I got my first horse when I was 12.
Okay.
So we started, I've been into animals since I was little. Doing the same thing, wanting to farm my whole life. I've always done farming. I've never done anything different. So it's always come natural to me.
Very good. So tell us about this beautiful rabbit.
So this is Wilbur. Wilbur was one of our rescues. We have a lot of rabbits that are brought to the farm after Easter. The little kids get rabbits for Easter, and in a few months they're all done with them and they don't want to pay any more attention to them. So we take the rabbits on and they live at the farm for life. So Wilbur was a good candidate for this scene because he had to work with a child on set. So he worked on Smilf, which is a Showtime series, and the child, who was 5, I think, at the time, had to sit on the screen on the set and hold him and play with him, and he was actually pretty good with that. So he worked 4 days on set.
Now, how old is Wilbur?
Wilbur's probably about 8 years old now. So he's been at the farm for a long time, and he gets a lot of attention because we are open to the public. So we have a petting zoo that's open. So there's a lot of kids that come through and pet the animals, and he also goes out to do petting zoos and goes to schools and does field trips and stuff. So,
do a lot of animals get abandoned?
They do.
Why is that?
It's work. They're a lot of work, and rabbits don't really make good pets for children because they're not very social. You can't play with them in the yard. You can't throw a ball to them. They're kind of, unless you handle them every day consistently. You're not going to bond with a rabbit. So a lot of kids don't bond with their rabbit, and they're bored with them. So they get rid of them, and they have to be cleaned every day. You have to clean the cage, you have to feed them and water them, and you have to pay attention to them.
So they require a lot of work.
Yes. Yep, it's not just a pet we shove in the corner and don't pay any attention to. And they are very sweet. If you give them the time, they're very sweet. I mean, a lot of rabbits you can litter box train, so you can keep in the house, but again, you have to put the time into it.
What kind of animals are at the farm in the petting zoo?
We have goats. We have about 15 goats. We have miniature donkeys, miniature horses, potbelly pigs. We have a wandering pig named Atticus, which a lot of people in Swansea know.
He's become quite a little celebrity, hasn't he?
He has. He has his own Instagram page called Where is Atticus?
Where has he taken off to?
He likes to go down to Twisset. So there's a development behind me, so he spends a lot of time over there visiting the new neighbors. And now they all know him by name.
Now, was Atticus abandoned at one point, or?
He was actually in an apartment in Providence. So him and his brother Arnold, they were there together. Obviously, the person was not allowed to have pigs. So
They are potbelly pigs.
Yep.
Okay.
So she got in trouble. The landlord, told her to get rid of the pigs. So they ended up at the SPCA, and they called me to come get them. And that was probably about 8 years ago.
And they are together.
They are together. Yep.
But Atticus is the one that likes to take off.
Yes, Arnold wants nothing to do with taking off. He goes for his little walks, and then he comes back to the farm, and that's where he stays. But Atticus is the wanderer.
And he's well known to the Swansea police, isn't he?
The Swansea police, the Warren police, yes. Yep, about
He
once a
just
week we get a call.
He just likes to take off.
Right. But he's not destructive. He just goes for his little walk. The worst thing he does is he walks down the middle of the street. So if we could teach him to walk on the side, he'd be good. But
Now tell us about the petting zoo. Is there a charge for people to come and see the animals?
Nope, it's free. We're open every day from 8 to 6, and families will come in with their kids. I mean, it's small, but it's great for like a 2 or 3 year old to come through, and they're able to get up close to the animals and pet them. And then we have.
I've known families that have come for lunch. They brought a picnic lunch.
Yep, they bring a picnic. We have a tented picnic area that they utilize. So it's a neat experience, and it's nice for the kids to get out and run around the farm. And a lot of kids have never seen those types of animals, so the fact that they can get up close with them is pretty cool.
Now you also board horses.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
We board 32 horses. 7 of them are mine, and the rest are all boarded, privately owned. And we have a training program, so we train horses, we do riding lessons, and we also host the URI dressage team. So their team rides out of the farm.
And they come from?
They're URI students, so they come from...
down in Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they trek up all the way to Swansea.
Yep, and we house 4 of their horses. So the girls will come a couple times during the week to train with the trainer. And then we host a couple of horse shows, so we have different college teams come in to compete against each other.
Very good.
And that's pretty neat. That's new. We started doing that a couple years ago.
It's a beautiful property.
It's a neat property. It's not your average horse farm.
Now somebody's squawking in the background here. Who do we have back there?
All right, so I'll put Wilbur back. Okay.
Wilbur's cool.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He loved working on set. He got a lot of attention from all the background people.
Now, who is coming out here?
All right, so here is Pants. I'll take one at a time.
Hello there. Tell us about Pants.
So Pants is actually, she's a rescue. She came from a farm in Somerset that they had to shut down because the man was not taking care of the animals. So we took her over. She's just a funny looking chicken, but she's been on 2 movies. So she was on the David Spade movie, and she got a lot of attention. She was pretty popular on set. And then she also was on a movie called Little Women, which hasn't come out yet, but she worked with Emma Watson, and she was in the scene with her. So she's been pretty busy too.
Now, how old is this chicken?
She's probably about 6 or 7. She's older. She doesn't lay any more eggs. She's retired. So that's what she does. She's in the movies now.
And what kind of care does she receive?
She's a lot of care. We have a pretty neat setup for the chickens with a chicken coop and an outside area that we open up during the day so they're able to free roam around the farm and, eat all the bugs. And they like to interact with the kids. When the kids come around and they're eating their lunch, all the chickens are under the picnic tables waiting for a snack.
And they probably are well fed too.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
What is the longevity of this such a chicken?
It can be about 12 years, 12, 13 years.
Wow, so she's projected to have a long movie career.
Yeah, we hope so.
So the trainer calls, how is that, what's the process?
She will actually send me a text message and say, hey, I need animals for such and such a date. This is where you need to be. I don't get a lot of details at the time, so I never know who's there, who's the actors. I don't ask those questions. I just go with my animals and
How far
get
do you
set
have
up.
to travel, though?
The furthest I went was Lancaster, Mass.
Okay, up in the Berkshires.
Yep, we just did a Netflix series that just came out a few weeks ago called The Society, which is a pretty popular show right now. And we did some work with turkeys, wild turkeys, on the set. So we actually have a bunch of those wild turkeys at the farm right now.
Turkeys are becoming very popular.
They are very popular, and they're not very easy to train or work with. So, but we got them to do the shot, so it's pretty neat. So if anyone's watching The Society, the end of the season, the turkeys are.
How do you train one of these animals?
The chickens you can't really train. I mean, if they're background chickens, you put them together in an area, and you feed them a lot. That's how you get them to do whatever.
And hopefully
they cooperate. The rabbits are a little different. You can kind of train the rabbits with some food. My horse Joey was on Smilf as well along with the rabbit. And he had to do a scene with no halter, no bridle, no nothing in front of a church. So he had no ropes on him, he had nothing, and he had to be in front of the church with all the cars going by, and he had just to stand there.
And be stationary.
And not move while the cameras were shooting at him. So we had to train him for that scene, which was kind of neat. I had never done before, but basically he had a little block of wood, and we would put it on the ground, and we would say, mark. So you train the horse to go to the mark and stand on the mark. And that's what he did in front of the church. And then he was perfect, and he did it. And then we had to train him to, the actor had to ride him. So we had to teach the actor to ride him through the woods in a wedding dress for another scene. And that was pretty intense.
So that required a little skill.
That was a lot of skill. The actress actually came down to the farm and took a couple of lessons on him before the scene. So she came in her wedding dress, and we taught her to ride.
She came all the way to Swansea.
Yes, and she's from Boston. She lives in LA right now. Her name is Frankie Shaw, and she's a pretty big actress. So that was pretty neat. Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Now, who else do we have back there?
All right, so this is Shirley. Come here, Shirley. And Shirley's another old girl. She's been around for a long time. Come here.
And she's taking off.
So Shirley's probably about 8 or 9. Okay. She's been on a few movie sets as well, the same as the other chicken with David Spade.
What variety is Shirley?
Shirley is a Brahma.
Okay. And where was she acquired from?
She was was a man that was giving away some chickens, and he had 6 of them at the time, so we took all of them. But she's, out of the 6, there are 2 left. and she's one of the last.
She's quite beautiful.
Yes. She's cool. She has free run of the farm, so she doesn't stay in the chicken coop with the rest of the chickens. She likes to roost in the barn with the horses. So that's where she goes every night.
That is really interesting.
And she's pretty special. And she lets the kids hold her. So when the little kids are around, she'll come over and she'll let them pick her up.
Very interesting. Very good. Tell us about your horses.
Well, we have a wide variety of horses. We have some horses that compete in dressage. So we have a few that are in training every day with their owners. They come out and ride them, 6 days a week. And then we have a couple of just backyard horses that are retired, and we have a couple of rescued race horses that have been at the farm for probably about 15 years now. We have a little pony that does a lot of birthday parties, so a lot of little kids know our pony. His name is Sonny, and he's been doing birthday parties for about 15 years. And he does all the pony rides for the area too.
I think I met your son.
Yes.
With Sonny.
Yes, that is my son's pony. He got him from Camara's auction.
Okay.
Yeah, about 17 years ago. And he was a great find because he's, like I said, he's great with the kids. He'll be in the Memorial Day parade this coming Monday in Swansea.
In Swansea.
Yep, along with Joey, the famous horse. So we'll be in the parade together.
Tell me about Joey.
Joey is a Frisian sport horse. So he's a kind of a neat-looking horse. He's black and white. He looks like a paint horse.
Frisians are very beautiful.
Yes, we have one at the farm named Kat. So she's full Frisian. So she's got the long mane. She's very black. She's huge. People are automatically drawn to her as soon as they come to the farm because she's so pretty. But Joey is he's half of a Frisian, so he's mixed with some paint. So he's black and white, and he's, like I said, he's a neat-looking horse. And
he'll be riding in the Memorial Day parade.
He'll be in the parade, yep, providing he behaves himself and doesn't get crazy. But he's very laid back, and he's very easygoing, so he's the kind of horse that you can just take him anywhere, and he doesn't spook. He's not too worried about what's going on around him. So that's why he was able to be used for the films. So,
what other animals do you have on the farm that have been used in film?
So we have the turkeys. We have 4 more goats.
Tell us about the goats.
The goats they were all rescues. We had Sally and her mother Lucy. So they were on set with David Spade. And we had Billie Jean, who was probably about that big. She's a little pygmy goat. She's a dwarf pygmy goat, so she's tiny. And they were all on set, and they were pretty well behaved.
You can push her back.
Come here, you. Come here, crazy
That's
chicken.
all right. And the other chicken is looking at her like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Craziness. So we're hoping to get some more, animals into the movies and keep it going. So we'll see.
Hollywood beckons.
Yes. Yep.
Tell us about your farm and about the products that you sell and things.
So we raise grass-fed beef. I have a bunch of beef cows on the farm. So the farm is kind of divided into 2. We have our rescued
What's the
animals.
name of the farm?
Stony Creek Farm.
Stony Creek Farm.
Yep.
Very good.
So we started raising beef cows about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it's kind of blown up, and it's getting pretty busy, so it's hard to keep up with it. So we started breeding cows. We're actually breeding cows that are able to thrive on the wetlands because our farm is made up of a lot of wetlands. So there's certain types of cows that do better there over others. So we raise, they're called Scottish Highlander, Devon crosses, and they're, if you've eaten the beef, you'd notice the taste difference between store-bought beef. But it's a healthier option for you. So it's grass-fed. It's no hormones. There's no antibiotics. So it's just healthier. People looking for a healthier option. That's they come to us.
And
for.
what are some of the other products that you have at the farm?
We have a farmers market on Sundays. So
From what are the hours?
10 to 2
10
every
to
Sunday.
2.
Yep. So opening day is June 2nd, and we have a lot of local vendors. So during the week, the local vendors will leave their stuff with me to sell. So we have like soy candles, we have local honey, maple syrup. There's all kinds of stuff in the store, and it changes weekly what we have in the store.
So it's very busy.
Yes, very busy. It's a busy place.
Do you ever sleep?
No, no, sleep is overrated.
Sleep is overrated. I like that.
But yeah, so the market is opening June 2nd. We have about 25 vendors. We have bakers. We have the local honey, the soy candles, anything that is made out of their house or in a certified kitchen. Those are the types of products that we sell. We don't sell anything that is made from overseas. Commercial. It's not commercial at all. So it's a quaint little, market without being too big. It's not overwhelming. With our vendors, like we have one honey person, we have one candle person, and we have a lady that makes goat milk soap. So it's a little bit of everything for everybody. So you can come and do a week's worth of shopping at the farm. We have really great produce people.
And it's also a good family venue.
Right. Absolutely. It's on the farm, so not only can the adults come and do some shopping, the kids have the petting zoo, we do the pony rides, face painting. So it's a great family thing for the whole family to come out and spend a couple hours and listening to. We have entertainment, so we do live music as well. So
who takes care of all these? You said there's about 100 animals.
Mm-hmm.
Who takes care of them?
Myself, my father. My father has been doing it with me since I was little, so he's been my right-hand man for a long time. And we have some volunteers. So I have a couple of girls that work on Saturdays, and they volunteer. We have a couple of girls that work off their board for their horses, so they help out. And then my head trainer is a big one.
A big asset.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. But it's
So it's really a working farm.
It's a working farm. It's not just a hobby farm. There's a lot going on over there, and it takes a lot to make all everything work and make ends meet. So we do a lot.
So it's important that the community support you.
Yes, I would love for the community to support, and like I said, we open it up to the public. So I encourage people to bring their kids down, their families down. Walk around the farm. I mean, the farm is incredible. The walking trails are incredible.
I know you have been very, very strong. You personally have been a very strong proponent of teaching kids.
Yes.
And bringing them to the schools. Bring the kids from schools out to the farm.
Yep.
Kids from the library out to the farm.
Yeah, we actually have the library, the Swansea Library. During the summertime, she does story time. They do story time with the animals on the farm. Carol
Gafford.
Yes.
Has been a very strong proponent and advocate for you.
She's great, and she puts in the time, and she sets up the arts and crafts, and they sit at the picnic tables, and it's just the cutest thing.
And they have a wonderful time.
They have it's free. I mean, I encourage anyone, if you have a kid and you don't know what to do with them during the summer, bring them to the farm. Find Carol at the Swansea Library. She's awesome, and it's so much fun, and the kids have a blast.
And it's a wonderful educational experience.
Yep.
We have a couple of more minutes. Can we bring him out again?
Wilbur?
Wilbur.
Sure. Hey,
I'd like to bring Wilbur home.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yeah, Wilbur's very cool.
He is a really beautiful rabbit. Do you know his breed?
I think he's a mixed breed of some mini Rex, and something else. So he's definitely not a purebred. which is fine because we don't need purebreds.
No,
but he's very he's just cool. He loves the attention. He loves getting out, and
the kids must love him.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a couple of rabbits at the farm that we acquired over the wintertime. They're Flemish giants, and we have two brothers. They live together, and they actually have a neat setup, so they're able to get out in the yard and play. And they're probably the size of a small dog.
Really?
Yes, they're about 20, 25 pounds.
I've got to come over and see those
Yeah,
guys.
the kids see them and they just go nuts. They love them because they're so big, but they're so friendly. They have these huge, huge ears and these huge feet, and the kids get a kick out of them.
So on the 2nd, on June 2nd,
Yep.
that will be opening day
Opening day for the market.
from
Yep.
10 to 2.
10 to 2. We have food, we have entertainment, we have stuff for the kids to do, praying that it doesn't rain. So
And it will be busy.
We hope it'll be busy. Yep.
And people can come see those giant Flemish rabbits.
Yes.
Or other, and
Yep. Walk around the petting zoo, take in the sights.
there will be vegetables. You have
Yes.
several farmers?
We have a few different farmers.
Farmers?
Yep. We have new this year is the Barboza Farm.
Who I did a story on.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yo, they're great. And their produce is phenomenal. Just amazing.
And Steve.
and Steve.
Rittenhouse is fabulous.
Yep, he'll be there with his microgreens. And then we have Healthy Futures Farm from Westport. And all of our farmers are all organic. They don't use any pesticides.
I've done a lot of
herbicides.
stories on various farmers, and you too. But and it's always fascinating
Right.
to meet these people.
Oh, they're just, they're true to what they do and what they believe in. And their produce, it shows for it. I mean, if you guys are out there and you're looking for good produce, that's
Healthy
the place.
eating.
Healthy eating, that is the place to be because most of them accept the SNAP and the EBT cards. So if you have families that are, relying on those benefits, come to the farm and use them.
Great honey.
Yep, our honey lady is Kathy Varney. She's out of Mansfield. So she's a beekeeper, and she's got a ton of hives that she maintains on her own, all by herself. And her honey is just, it's awesome. And if you got allergies, you want some local honey, it's the best thing for them.
I'm being told that it's time to wrap up.
All right.
And we've had fun. And we're going to bring Erin back for another round later this summer because this has been a fascinating segment. Good to see you, and thank you, and happy Memorial Day to everyone.